So The Sims has been in a bit of a state lately. There's a lot of game-breaking bugs and glitches going on, and I've been fortunate enough to not really experience too many of those, but I know a lot of you guys have. So I thought today, instead of doing some kind of gameplay or build, we would do a ranking of every single build kit until we decide which build kit is the best out of all of them. Please keep in mind, this is just my opinion, and it is absolutely okay if you have a different one, and I would actually love to hear your thoughts and opinions on which kit is your favorite in the comments. But let's go ahead and hop into our ranking. I may or may not have made an entire PowerPoint for this, so welcome to my PowerPoint. What's the best Sims 4 build kit, in my opinion? And while I do love a good tier list, I thought it would be really fun to do a head-to-head bracket competition between all of the build kits. You may notice that there are 3 kits missing, and that's because this is a 16 slot bracket and there are 19 total build kits. 19 total build kits. That's so many. That's an aggressive amount of build kits. But if you didn't know, the kits are $5 US each, and they are the most narrowed down content out of any of the Sims packs. So the smaller the pack, the more niche it is, which is why I think that there's a lot of differing opinions when it comes to kits, but I think that's a really good thing, so you can buy what fits your style and your gameplay. But let's talk about the 3 kits that did not make it into the bracket list. Welcome in the worst build kits in my opinion. I feel like Bust the Dust hardly counts as a build kit, but I think if you were to put it under a build or a cast kit, it has to go under build. But it quite literally comes with vacuum cleaners, and that's it. Party Essentials, I think, is just bad. It's just, for me, it's too niche. It doesn't fit into my gameplay. I never decorate for parties. My Sims are lucky if they have like a birthday cake most of the time. So Party Essentials is also a no for me. And then there's the Castle Estate. I really like the Castle Estate, but if you're not building a castle, it's kind of useless in my opinion. So these are what I consider to be the worst build kits. But now let's actually go into our bracket system and rank these kits. So we're gonna start with the left side of our bracket with Pastel Pop and Basement Treasures. Pastel Pop is a very fun pack in my opinion. It has a lot of different stuff. It's very youthful. It's got a lot of bright colors and things like that. I feel like I use Pastel Pop a lot just for my teen rooms and kids rooms. I love the strawberry wallpaper. It's one of my favorite things. So I'm a pretty big fan of Pastel Pop, and if you've been watching me for a while, you probably know this. Basement Treasures, on the other hand, is not something I use very heavily in my gameplay at all. They do have several good items, but it's mostly kind of grungy and cluttery. So if you like to decorate more dirty builds, I think it's fun, but I feel like it's not something I really gravitate towards. I'm not looking at any of these items and thinking that they're must-haves for me. So unfortunately for Basement Treasures, Pastel Pop is the very clear-cut winner here. Next down the left side, we've got Greenhouse Haven against Decor to the Max. Greenhouse Haven, I think, is very fun. It's all about greenhouses and decorating greenhouses. So there's a lot of doors and windows. There's a lot of like little plant clutter. I think Greenhouse Haven has the best plant in the game, which is this little plant right here. But it has a lot of fun gardening stuff. Is any of it necessary for gameplay? Absolutely not. But I do find I put greenhouses in my builds more often than you'd think. And when I do, I always use this kit. Compared to Decor to the Max, which I think is very, very fun. I love all the bright colors and the maximalism. That's what this whole kit is about, just decorating in a maximalist style. So it's a lot of bold prints, a lot of bold colors. I think it's really fun. I think it's really pretty. I wouldn't say I don't use this kit, but I would say it's probably more rarely used. Also, I'm really sorry. Apollo is in my desk cubby and I can't get him out, but he keeps banging his little head against the top. So if you hear any thuds, that's what that is. I tried to fish him out. So here is Apollo, but he's in a little bit of a chaotic mood today. But anyways, so between a Decor to the Max and Greenhouse Haven kit, for me, it's Greenhouse Haven, but it was kind of a close call because I do really like some of the wallpapers and rugs that come with Decor to the Max. Next up, we've got Everyday Clutter against the Cozy Bistro kit. So Everyday Clutter is exactly what it says. It's just a lot of clutter items. I find this to be really nice to have, especially as someone who builds pretty regularly in The Sims. Clutter is just realistic and it makes a house look a little more finished than if you didn't have clutter. Maybe not finished, but lived in. It like gives the essence that people actually live in the house. So I do really like the clutter. I find some of it to be not as usable. I don't use as much of the cardboard box clutter. I love the little desk radio. I love the mirror. I love the mugs and the water bottles. I think a lot of that's very fun. The phone and the keys, like that's so nice to have. And then with the Cozy Bistro kit, this is all about decorating a bistro. My biggest issue with Cozy Bistro is it feels like you need another pack to make it work. It's not that you can't make a bar with Cozy Bistro or like a lounge, but it feels more suited for a restaurant style or for a cafe style. And so I kind of take issue with Cozy Bistro for that. I will say I do like the floor and the wallpaper that come with this. I love the coffee maker. I think it's the prettiest coffee maker that comes in the game. But other than those things, I don't really find I use them very much. I'm personally not a huge community lot builder, so it's not very often that I need things that suit a cafe or restaurant. And for that reason, we are moving everyday clutter on to the next round. Next up, we've got the Industrial Loft kit against the Modern Luxe kit. And I honestly think this is a good matchup. The Industrial Loft kit is all about industrial style, so a lot of raw woods and metals and things like that. And I actually really like both of these styles. I'm a big fan of both. I love the couch that comes in this one. I love the bar stool table. I like that it comes with a bed. I feel like you can furnish a lot with this kit. I feel like this is one of the kits that feels a little more full just because it has so many different things in it. But it's not that often that you get a kit that can furnish both a living room and a bedroom. Most of them are a little more narrowed down than that. So I think it's really good for that reason. However, the exact same thing could be said for the Modern Luxe kit. It has the vanity table, it's got light fixtures, it's got the best curtains in the game in my opinion. It's got the frame TV, which I love that item a lot. It's just a little bit more fuller in my opinion when it comes to a kit because it's just a nice cohesive style that can be used across several different rooms. Also, the record player I think is a really big plus for this kit as well. So this was kind of a hard decision for me, but Modern Luxe does take this one. I find I just gravitate towards it a little bit more than I do the Industrial Loft kit. Now we are heading over to the right side of this bracket where we've got the Courtyard Oasis up against the Bathroom Clutter kit. Courtyard Oasis is, in my opinion, kind of bad. It's not that they don't have some items that are nice, it's just that there's not enough of anything to make a cohesive build. And it's another one of those packs that I almost feel like you need another pack to make it make sense. A lot of this stuff feels like it should have been in the My Wedding Stories, and instead it got its own kit that you can't really make a full build with because nothing in base game really matches the style too well. Not to say you can't make it work, but it's definitely more difficult than any of the other build kits, I think. And then we've got the Bathroom Clutter kit, which I think is very fun. I think Bathroom Clutter is nice. I find I miss this kit when I don't have it, but nothing in here is necessary for sure, but it is really nice to have the clutter items. The best item in this kit, in my opinion, is the little candle up top. I find I use that a lot. A lot of the other stuff feels almost too big. The towels, it's very hard to find a space on the wall for them. The plunger is as big as the toilet. So there's a few things like that that are a little odd, but I do think it's really nice to have clutter kits. I think it's nice when you can make a build feel a little bit more lived in. And honestly, Bathroom Clutter might not have won against a lot of kits, but it definitely wins against Courtyard Oasis for me. And then we've got Riviera Retreat next to the Blooming Rooms kit. So Riviera Retreat is one of the newer kits that recently came out. It's not that I don't like Riviera Retreat, but I don't find I gravitate towards using any of these items, nor do I feel like any of these items are unique. They're just recolors and reskins of things that we already have in the game. So for me, a kit is supposed to add something extra to the game where, I mean, this does add more swatches essentially, but under a $5 paywall, I don't know if it's worth it. And then we've got the Blooming Rooms kit, which if you watch any of my videos, you know I love the Blooming Rooms kit. It's a lot of plant options. It's really nice to have more plant options and swatches. I love the hanging plant that comes in this pack. I love the curtain vines. I love all the different variety of plants, and I find at least one of these plants makes it into almost every single one of my Sims build that are not limited pack. So I think you can decide pretty quickly which one is moving on in this category. Blooming Rooms is on to the next round. Next up, we've got Little Campers against Country Kitchen. So Little Campers I think is so fun. I think it's very cute. It's very kid friendly. If you play with family gameplay a lot, I think this is an excellent kit to have. It's got a lot as far as the outdoor space goes. I think this swing set in this kit is the prettiest one in the whole game. It's got a lot of cute kids clutter. It's got string lights. It's just a fun kit. It's not necessary. There's not anything in this kit that you have to have for sure, but I do really enjoy the style of this kit and the fact that it really had kids in mind, because not a lot of the other kits have that. And then we've got the Country Kitchen kit. And look at the size comparison. I mean, it's so small in comparison. And this is deceptively small because the kitchen counters have multiple different variants. So like that's where the item count is coming from. And I think there's a lot of people that just like to have kitchen sets. And if that's you, then that is excellent for you. But this one I find to be lacking. I find it's not that much different from the one that comes with Cottage Living or Horse Ranch even. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like they should have given us more. I know that there are more variants under each like countertop, but that doesn't feel like a reason to slack off this heavily. And for that reason, Little Campers is definitely the one moving on to the next round. Next up, we have the Desert Luxe and the Book Nook kit up against each other. I think it's kind of sad that these two got paired against each other because I actually really like both of them. So Desert Luxe has the best curtains in the game, right behind the Modern Luxe kit, I think. It kind of depends on what day and what build, but I gravitate more towards the Desert Luxe version. I think it has one of the more beautiful couches in the whole game. I think it's got nice windows. I love the open door. It's even got a nice bar and grill, which is really nice to have. We don't have a lot of outdoor grills and bars. And I'm just a fan of the style and the color swatches. I think it fits in really nice with Oasis Springs as well. And a lot of people got this one for free, myself included. So that was nice because when they made The Sims free to play, they gave Desert Luxe away as like a sorry if you already bought this game, but here's a free kit kind of thing. But I do think it's a really cute one. I like a lot of the items in here and the style. So it's super unfortunate that it's up against the Book Nook kit. That was just a bad luck of the draw, but Book Nook kit I kind of love. I think Book Nook kit has the best couch in the game. I use it all the time. It's got a matching chair. There's a lot of really cute book clutter, cute lamps, cute side tables, and they even have a really pretty wallpaper and rug. I am a big fan of Book Nook kit. I think it's really good for living rooms and offices, and the style is very much what I would consider to be my personal style. So it's super unfortunate for Desert Luxe that it got put up against Book Nook kit, because I think it would have normally made it to the next round against a lot of the other kits, but not against Book Nook. Now is where things are starting to get a little bit more difficult. We have Pastel Pop against the Greenhouse Haven kit. And I really like and use both of these kits so much. So this one was kind of a hard decision for me, but I find I gravitate much more to Pastel Pop. So Pastel Pop is gonna make it to the next round. I just think Pastel Pop is fun, and we don't really have anything Pastel Pop in the base game. Whereas you don't really need the Greenhouse Haven to make a greenhouse. You can do that without that kit. So for that reason, Pastel Pop moves on. Next up, we've got Everyday Clutter against the Modern Luxe kit. Now, this was also kind of a hard decision, but not as hard as the first one. So Everyday Clutter, I think, is really nice to have, but the only thing that it adds to your game is clutter. Whereas Modern Luxe adds a new bed, a new TV, new chairs, pillows, dressers, vanities. And so for that reason, Modern Luxe is moving on to the next round. So back over to the right side of the bracket, we've got Bathroom Clutter against a Blooming Rooms kit. And these are two really good ones, I think, to put side by side, because this is where it's gonna really depend on how you like to build and play. So for me, I would rather have more plants than I would more bathroom clutter. I think both of those kits are pretty solid as far as kits are concerned. But we have a lot of bathroom clutter in the base game without the kit. And And Blooming Rooms just adds like a whole different style of plant to the game. So that's why that one gets to move on. Now we've got Little Campers against the Book Nook kit. And while I really love Little Campers, it doesn't get into my builds as much as the Book Nook kit things do. So for that reason, Book Nook moves on to the next round. So heading into our semifinals, we've got Pastel Pop against the Modern Luxe kit. And for me, this is gonna be Pastel Pop. It fits my style better. I think they're both good kits if you're interested in buying a kit. It's really just more what suits your personal taste more, because I find they both have about an equal number of items. It's just a completely different vibe. So it's more if you want like a youthful, colorful build or a more neutral, luxurious type of build. But for me, Pastel Pop, I use more. So we're gonna move that to the next round. And then we've got a really hard decision between Blooming Rooms and Book Nook kit. I do love all the extra plant clutter, but Book Nook kit, in my opinion, is just easier to use in your everyday build. I think Blooming Rooms does add something, but it doesn't add as much to me as the Book Nook kit does, because we have plants in the base game. So it's not like we need plants necessarily. It's just nice to have. Whereas Book Nook, we don't have a lot of the clutter that comes with it, nor do we have bookshelves that snap to each other where you can build more custom bookcases. So for that reason, Book Nook kit moves on. And now we are here at the finals. I actually am really happy that these two kits ended up on separate sides of the bracket, because I think that I would actually say that these were my top two kits. So it's nice that at the end they get to go head to head instead of like one that is by far my favorite and another one that just made it through because it ended up on like a bad bracket. So I am happy that these got to go against each other. And I don't even know if I'm happy with the decision I made, because I feel like it depends on what build I'm doing as to which one I like better. So then I had to ask myself, and this is kind of what I was asking myself through each of the different rounds, if you could only buy one, which one would you buy? And for me, it's the Book Nook kit. Like I said, I'm not even 100% if I think that this is my right answer, but I really love the couch. It's been a little while ago, but I did a 10-minute speed build. I'll link it in the top right here, but I really feel like it showed what packs and what items I gravitate towards, and the Book Nook kit couch was in that build. So I do think Book Nook is my number one. It was kind of a hard decision, but I think overall I'm pretty happy with Book Nook kit as the winner. But let me guys know what you think of my ranking and how you might have ranked these build kits differently from where I did. I love hearing your guys' thoughts on what you like and dislike in The Sims, and I hope you're not experiencing too many bad bugs. I'm very sorry if you are. That really sucks for a game that a lot of people spend so much money on for it to not work that well. So I hope this video was at least a little fun one that was different from my usual content. Let me know if you want to see more ranking videos or bracket videos, and do you prefer the tier list or the bracket style? If you made it this far in the video, comment our secret emoji down below. Also, if you made it this far, we are going to be rebuilding our 100 baby house on stream. By the time you're seeing this video today, so Tuesday at 4 Central, we're going to be rebuilding that on Twitch. I've got that linked in the description below if you're interested in stopping by and hanging out. I still have not decided where we're moving yet, but we'll get there when we get there. I hope you guys have the best rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!